The observations highlighted a lot of what we thought were good practice, but how do we know? So moderation is a way of, I guess, affirming that. And because the teachers are now comfortable with each other and they've had quite a few years of working together in groups, it now becomes easier for them to have that honesty. Over the years, they have built up that professional trust with each other, and now with moderation being a focal point, it has become easier for them to observe each other and now moderate each other's work.
There's time actually devoted to, let's have a look at student work samples, let's do some, move towards consistent teacher judgment and use that to inform, and add to the feedback we already get as part of our PLC teacher observations, which is really powerful for everyone.
A few years ago, we actually did try having moderation as one of our focal points for our PLC, but I think at that stage the trust wasn't there with our staff, because there was a bit more of that personal judgment that they were taking a bit personally if they thought they'd marked a student as a C and then somebody else came in and said, no, I think that's a D level. So I think doing the observations and things over the next 2 years has really built that trust. So they're definitely ready for that stage to know that it is not a personal judgment. It's about looking at the portfolio of children's work and working together from there.
I think we've also started along those lines through doing the transforming tasks. With the PLCs, with transforming tasks, they've looked at different tasks and worked on moderation within those tasks. So looked at teacher judgment, what it would look like with different entry points to a task, and whether that task is something that they think would be successful.
Knowing that we have an inquiry focus every year, one of the staff members suggested, where does moderation fit now for us? So that was pretty powerful to have teachers saying that, knowing that we're here, this is now what's next for us.
In moderation, I think our role is to also have that judgment, but to be guided by the teacher's judgment, because we're not the ones actually sitting there teaching, but what can we learn from that? What can we also impart to the teachers and students? So part of that might be, we could look at where is student voice in the task? So where is the intellectual stretch? For us as leaders, we're really just guiding. Not there to take over, not there to use our judgment, but just to guide and be a part of the process. We've looked at how do we work out, where are our shared staff meetings, setting time aside at staff meetings for the purpose of moderation, and what do we do with our resource in regards to our budget? We need to set aside money for student-free days, for shared time, TRT release. It was really important to show to staff, this isn't something extra, this is part of your daily practice, this is what you do, and this is how you can manage it.
Now we are ready for moderation. It's about preparedness of staff to make sure that it's not seen as compliance, but seen as this gives real value to me as an educator and I'm better because of it.
More the moderation, the collaborative moderation, but that becomes part of teacher practice, is that it's okay to open up the work, and if you're struggling and saying, I'm not too sure if this kid is a C or if this kid's a B.
What is really important is that deprivatisation and having that so much a part of just what you do in your daily practice as a teacher. So opening up your classrooms, us opening up our leadership, and hopefully through sharing you become better practitioners and your pedagogy improves, which is good for everyone.
Quality moderation leads to an increased teacher confidence, so that when it is time to write those reports, which are an important part of our role, and identify that achievement standard, that we have confidence, we know that yes, I am on the mark, and that's been informed by colleagues who are in a similar space and in similar environments, who I trust and believe and who we've done this together with.
The challenge we have going forward is, so how do we fit moderation into that without, again, it being another thing to do. Part of the moderation could be, how is student voice incorporated into the task? And doing transforming tasks really helped us with that. And I guess it's an element that when you are moderating, that's something that you can look for.
Also, potentially, how does student voice inform that grading process, that sense of achievement of a student? Can you, colleague, help me work out how that can be used to give me another aspect, another sense of achievement and understanding for our learners as well?
The challenge for us is, how do we get the students involved in the moderation? Because they need to be a part of moderating the work as well. They need to understand what is a C, what is a B, what is an A, what is outstanding work, what is work that needs to be worked on. So I think the challenge is how do we involve the students in the moderation as well as teachers as well as us.
We talk a lot about success criteria through assessment planning. That's a key part of what we do, and reflecting on that as a learning community. But again, how much further can we take that in the moderation space as well? So those two things are happening together.
Nothing should be a mystery to the students when they're either having interviews or reports or they're talking to their parents about their work. They should know where they stand. It's all a learning curve. It's a learning curve for us. It's a learning curve for the students, which is exciting.